Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I want to talk about Garmin Zumo XT2. Is it worth upgrading from Zumo XT, and a little bit about how I installed it on my motorcycle and how to make routes on it on the GPS itself, or in the, new to me at least, Tread app on your mobile phone, and also a bit about the key differences between the Zumo XT and the Zumo XT2. So I'm going to Iceland in about 2 weeks from me recording this video. So in June I will be riding on Iceland in the interior most of the time for over 2 weeks in a very harsh environment. So if you want to hear my review on the XT2 after being riding in Iceland on a very harsh environment, hit that subscribe button and you can come back and you can look at that. I will also be testing some new, to me, adventure tires as well, which I'm really looking forward to. Where I'm going to be riding on Iceland, there are some rough roads. There's ash, there's lava stones, there's gravel, very soft gravel on many of the roads. There are some river crossings, so it will be very exciting to test some equipment on that trip. So let's get back to the Garmin Zumo XT2. I have been using a Zumo XT on my bike for a few years, and I went with it to North Cape 2 years ago, the northern tip of Norway. It rained every day for a week, and it worked flawlessly, except once. I lost power to the GPS. It was sitting in the mount, and I had it wired up through the pogo pins and with a where I had it hardwired onto the bike, so not using USB, and I lost power, and I unseated it, I put it back in, I unseated, put it back in a few times, and I still didn't get power. So in the end, I got a cloth from my bag. It poured down rain then too. I got a cloth and I wiped the contacts on the GPS and on the bike and put it back on, and it worked. So I assume that water just got trapped in between the GPS and the seat where the pogo pins are, and probably shorted something out. So that was the only flaw with the Zumo XT, except it being slow, cumbersome to use, particularly cumbersome to plan routes in base camp. Base camp could be extremely frustrating if you don't really know how to use it, but once you know how to use it, it's actually quite a powerful tool, and it works quite well. But I just find that when winter has come and gone, and I'm going back to base camp again, I have to look at some YouTube videos for some hints and tricks and tips how to use base camp again to be able to plan new routes. So what I ended up doing in practical terms on my trip to northern Norway, I was away for 16 days, riding long distance every day. And what I ended up doing was just to get up in the morning, and I just used the go-to function in the GPS. I'm going to this place, and I put it on adventure mode, and then off I went. That was the way I did it. To plan the routes, to put them in, was just too much hassle. At least I thought so then. Maybe I'm just lazy. But anyways, with the Zumo XT2, this has changed, at least for me. So so now I have this Tread app. You can plan a route on the Tread app, or you can plan it directly on the GPS. And for my trip to Iceland, I'm going to be riding there as well for 16 days. But for riding, I have now planned a route for every day for the first 8 days, because I'll have to see what the weather is like and everything and where I'm going to ride. But I planned a route for every day for 8 days, and it was very easy. I planned a few of them on the GPS, and I planned a few of them in the Tread app on my mobile phone. And I actually prefer using the mobile phone to my PC now, which is very good, because I'm not going to bring my PC to Iceland, that's for sure. So I will show you how to do that, but first let me just talk about the installation on my bike. This may not be applicable to you at all, but when you open the GPS, it comes with a RAM mount, as you probably know already, and it comes with a little arm. So on the GPS, in the back of it, you have this holder socket with a ball on it, and then you have an arm, and then you have a U-bolt that you can mount on the bike with a ball. So, and then the arm goes in between. So it's just a standard RAM setup. On my bike that doesn't work so well because it will stick too far out, it will come too close to me, whatever, it just doesn't work very well. My motorcycle is a Triumph Scrambler 1200 XE. It's a naked bike, and on my bike I want the GPS to be as flush to the handlebars as possible. So with my previous GPS, the Garmin 270-6CX, I bought a mount called Bike Mount, and it didn't come with any cables or anything. All it is a bike mount to install onto to a bike with 2 thumb screws, and in addition to that I added 2 tie wraps to it. So that made me being able to install the 270-6CX very, very close to the handlebars, which was excellent. It was a very nice installation. So what I did with the Zumo, I want to use the same mount, and as it turns out, the base plate that comes with the Zumo is the same, has the same holes, same configuration as the base plate on the Garmin 276. So I just simply detached the ball, the ram ball, from the mount on the GPS, and then I screwed it onto the base plate for the 276. So of course I just had to remove that cradle, but the screw also was exactly the same. So that's how I installed it on my bike. Now it's nice and flush to the handlebars, and I'm very, very happy about that. It's far enough from my face that I can read it, and it's sitting in the center, which is I probably have OCD or something, but I need to have the GPS right in the center. That way I can operate it with my left hand or with my right hand. And I do have a cruise control on the bike, so it's easy to operate it with my right hand, which is what I really prefer if I have to push any buttons while I ride. So that's a bit about the installation on the handlebars, and also I would highly recommend you do as what I did, to hardwire it, not to use the USB connection, because I've noticed that this GPS it dimmed while I had it on USB, and I was wondering why I couldn't get any brighter. It dimmed down to 40%. So I tried to bring it up, and it said no. It just popped up with a message saying that it's dim because you're on USB power. Plug it into your vehicle power, or whatever it said, but something like that, to get full brightness. So regardless, I would want to install it hardwired onto the bike. And also please do not, at least I recommend to not wire it to a wire that's hot even when the bike is not running. So what I did on my bike, on the Triumph, under the seat, there's a fairly useless USB connector. It's a USB connector inside a little tray. So what they meant with creating that is that you can open the tray, you can put your mobile phone in there, plug it in, and you can charge while you ride. But that means you have to get the key out on that Triumph, and then you have to unlock the seat, open that little cradle, which is a little hard to open, or that little compartment, and get the phone, just to look at the phone even. So I'm not going to do that. I don't think anyone does that. But that USB outlet is connected to a wire that is 12 volt switched with the ignition on the bike. So I just chopped that wire off. I put in a little junction, so the USB connection is still alive, and but now I also have 12 volts for my GPS. So I plugged it in there. So it's very handy. When I start the ignition on the bike, the GPS just turns on, and when I stop the bike, it just turns off. So that's how that works. That's a bit about the installation. Now let's go to look to see how we can make routes on this GPS. I just love doing it because it's so easy, and it has this shaping function that works very well. So, but it's a little, before you know how to use it, it's a little hard to figure out that shaping function. You just have to do the right order of things, but it's really very simple, and you'll understand as soon as you see it. So then I can switch the camera over and point to the GPS. So here we are with the GPS turned on, and I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, but I'm not sponsored by Garmin or anyone else. This is just a review I'm doing on my own. The GPS is on, is ready to go, and keep in mind that you have to have the Tread app going on your mobile phone. That's important. Otherwise, a lot of functions won't work. For instance, if I want to check the weather, and this is something I'm going to do when I go to Iceland, it's going to be very helpful. So I just click on the temperature up here, and it shows the current location, wherever Garmin choose to pick the weather from, which is a nearby location. I can go and look at today, see the sunrise and the sunset, which is also handy when you're going on long trips somewhere else. And also you can click on menu, you can look at weather alerts, which is very handy as well. There are no weather alerts for the area right now, and you can also go to a weather radar, which I really like, particularly for riding on Iceland, where the weather is inclement often. It rains a lot. There are some storm areas that are moving across the country, so it would be very nice for me to see where they are. So here I can see where there's precipitation right now. It's raining in these areas, including right here where we're at right now. And you can also look forward. I think it's only about 45 minutes, but at least it's enough that you can see which direction the weather systems are moving. But this is slow loading. It takes a while. Well, I'm not sure how long it takes, but it probably takes at least 30 seconds or something, or maybe even more. And but when it's loaded, it will show you the next 45 minutes. So there we go. At least now I can tell that the weather systems seems to be moving from south to northeast. So that's good. Okay, let's go out of here. I'm not going to go through a lot of the other functions here, but one function that is very cool is the group ride, obviously. I usually ride alone, so it's not very applicable to me, but I did try it with a friend of mine, and all I did was group ride, start the group ride, agree, and then I just told him on Messenger, on Facebook, put in this code onto your Zumo XT2, which he did, and then all of a sudden I could see him on my map, he could see me on his map. Very cool. If you're going to meet up with a bunch of riders, you can see where they all are. Also, if you're sitting together with other riders, they can just scan this QR code, and then their Tread app, and it will put into the Zumo XT2, and off they go. So very cool. Very cool new function for the Zumo XT2. Yeah, and I have a few other things, but I'm sure you know these things from before, so I'm not going to go through them. Let's go dive right into the route planner. That's the interesting part, to see how easy this is on the XT2 and on the mobile phone. So let's plan the route. Let's start with the starting point. So you can search for a place, or you can just push somewhere on the map. So let's start by searching for a place. Let's pick. There's a place nearby called Tønsberg, Norway. There we go. And when I pick the city, you will see that it will ask you if you want to go from the city center, or if you want to pick a place inside the city. So I want to pick a place. Let's say I've been there camping. So I just got up in the morning and I'm going to plan my next route. Categories, so then it's obviously lodging, and all lodging I can take then. Okay, let's say I stay at the Quality Hotel Tønsberg. So we go there. Now it will plan the route from Quality Hotel Tønsberg. And it even shows the TripAdvisor reviews on the Quality Hotel. Select. Done. So now we have this starting point in. So let's go for a ride. I want to go on the country somewhere, and let's just pick a place here. Let's pick this little place here, Andebu. There we go. It will create the route. Done. I forgot to put it on adventure first. Now I had faster time, so I'll put it on adventure. It will not do it now for this point because I have created it already. So let's just undo it. I can undo it here. Now it's sitting on adventure. I can click undo again. Now it will give me the different grades of adventure. It's probably not going to make a difference. No, it's not going to make a difference. It's because this is adventurous ride to start with a very twisty road here and very hilly and everything. So So that's probably why it doesn't make any change. And it's a very short ride. It's only 17 kilometers. Okay, so let's say we have to stop and fill gas, and we want to go further. So then we go up here, and for instance, this place right here. Sorry, I have to click done first. I forgot that, to accept the route, the first route. Okay, so then we go up here, and I picked Vittingfoss. It's up here. There we go. Okay, it creates the route. Done. So now we have a starting point, we have a place to fill gas on the way, and we have a stopping point. So now let's say if you want to shape this route. So first I have to accept the last bit. Done. Now we want to shape this. I'm not quite happy with this route the way it is. So then we have this new button here called shaping. I love that. So let's say we want to go around here instead. So then, first of all, you have to click shaping. Maybe I did this in the wrong order. We'll see. And then you have to select the segment you want to shape, which is that segment. I think I should have done that first, but that doesn't matter. So the segment is now changed or selected. You can see it's like white on the edges. Insert shaping. It's already selected. And then I want to go here. So push here. See, I have to zoom in a little bit. Hey, there we go. Now it rerouted me around there. It's kind of like Google Maps when you take a track and you just drag it and drop it somewhere else. So it's sort of like that. It's very easy to do, very easy to use. So done. Now we have the route that we want, and so I just accept all that. There we go, and now I can save it. Save. And it will put in that default name here from the places. You can also just name it whatever you want. Done. Then you can click go, and off you go. But I want to store this because I'm going to do this route another day. And if I want to go back to the route now, I go into Explore. And here you can see I have these collections. This is the default view I have now. I can also look at all items. Here are all my items. This is all the routes I've created, including the one we just created now, which is this one right here, Quality Hotel, Tønsberg to Guleveien 19. That's the one we created. But I can go into collections. So here it will show Island, which is the Norwegian word for Iceland, which I created a folder, if you can put it that way, and in that folder I have all the routes for Iceland that I created in advance. Some of them on the GPS, some of them are in the Tread app to have tried both ways. So, but by default, it will store new routes in the uncategorized collection. So here it is right here in that collection. This is the one right here on the bottom. But I really want it to be stored in the Iceland. So let's pretend the one I created now is on Iceland. I want to store it in the Iceland collection. I have not found a way to do that on the GPS. I wish they would add it because that would be very handy, but you can do it on the phone. So let's go back out. The route is created, and it's easy now to find back to the route regardless, even if it's in the wrong collection. You can just find it here, start it up, go in, and you can also edit the route right here, shape it further, add more stops, etc., and that works fine. So that's all I need to show you on the GPS, I think. So let's look at the phone. I don't have the best setup to do YouTubing, so I hope this will work out for most of you anyways. Okay, so the Tread app is running. This is what it looks like when you start the Tread app up, and we'll go right into the map. If I try to exit the Tread app, it will pop up a notification saying Tread, keep the Tread app running for the best experience with your Garmin device. All right, so you should not exit the Tread app when the GPS is running. So I'm into the map, and from here you can create a route by clicking here. I will show you that after, but first of all, let's go and look at the route we created on the GPS. So I click here on the menu, go to Explore Library. Here it shows 3 collections. So Garmin still has a bit of work to do to sync this up with the GPS because it has this last import collection as well. which does not show on the GPS, but this will show clearly if you import a GPX file or something. It will show under the last import, and then you can move it into wherever you want. So the route that we created on the GPS is inside the uncategorized area, which is this one. Yeah, which is this one right here. So let's select it. It will go into the map. It will show the route, and it will let me edit the map by pushing here. I can do the different map layers. I forgot to show you that also on the GPS. You can also do the map layers on the GPS. And what's also new now for the XT2 is this popular paths modo. It has an overlay that will show popular roads that other motorcyclists has been riding using Garmin devices, I guess. But here you can also select collections, and here's where you can store it in a different collection. So this route right here, click collection, and then I can pick Iceland and push done. Now this is stored in the Iceland collection folder. So this is the only way I have found to store a route in a different collection than the uncategorized one. So there we are, back to the map. And so if I go back here now, explore library, Iceland, now I can find, here's my quality hotel routes right here that I created, now stored in the correct folder. I don't really want them to be there. I should move them back, so I can just go to collections again. I can unselect Iceland, done, and now that will be in the uncategorized collection. This might not be so interesting for all of you watching, but it's interesting for me. When I do plan a trip, I like to have it organized. I like to have a route for each day, and etc. Okay, so let's go to the map and plan a route quickly here. So I'll just go to this route symbol right here. Here's the city of Tønsberg. I select that, and so that's done. I will go to adventure. And then I go to another place right here, to Lindestad. Here's a trail. And I go to next stop. And you can just keep adding stops like this. It's so easy. Very, very easy. And then if I want to shape the route, I click on shaping. And here you click on shaping first. And then you select the segment you want to shape. Here we are. Segment is selected. And let's do some wild shape here. See what it does. Yeah, so then the reroute here, and it even gives me two options for getting to my target. So that's it, and then you just have to store what you're doing. And let me see, I'm just going to select this, or maybe I should pick that one instead. Anyways, and then I can click the check mark down here. That's done, and then I can save it. Route name, save, done. We have the route set up. That's how easy it is to create routes on this GPS. So I'm hoping it was helpful to see how I created the routes on the GPS and also in the Tread app. At least I find it very easy, and I just love doing it. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to test it on Iceland under harsh conditions, and of course it will work. It's just a cool thing to do, and so that's a spoiler alert. It will work, but it will likely go through a lot of rain. I will see if it will hold a power connection and things like that. But of course, I'm assuming everything will be fine. So, but if you wanna see it anyway, hit subscribe and you can come back and watch. So to the ultimate question, would I upgrade from Zumo XT to Zumo XT2? I definitely would. There's absolutely no doubt. The brighter screen, it's a little bigger screen. That doesn't really mean so much. It is a little bigger though. And the USB-C connection, the group ride, if you like that, or if you're into that, and also the Tread app and the ease of planning the routes. So it's for me, it's a no-brainer. I would definitely go and upgrade if you can afford it. So that's it. I hope it has been helpful for you, and please come back to watch other reviews as well. Thank you so much for listening.